So since a lot of the new movie releases have been getting delayed due to the pandemic, I thought it'd be interesting to revisit the last movie I saw in theaters all the way back in February, Sonic the Hedgehog. Now, I like this movie. I like the way they portrayed Sonic and Eggman, but other than that, there's not much to really praise it for. I feel like fans only like this movie because it wasn't as bad as everyone expected it to be. So today, I'm going to be explaining how they could have easily made this a much better cinematic outing for the Blue Blur. So first off, let me propose a new idea for the plot that may make the rest of what I say in this video make more sense. So I think that the plot of this movie should have been that Sonic and Eggman are both racing to get their hands on a Chaos Emerald. If you don't know, the 7 Chaos Emeralds are usually what Sonic is tasked to obtain in most of the games. This makes for a very simple MacGuffin-based plot that in general will be carried by fun character interactions and action scenes, kind of like the first Guardians of the Galaxy movie, which had the heroes and villains fighting over the Power Stone. Since 7 emeralds might be too much for one movie, the writers can make it so that there's only one, or maybe there's one in the specific world, or maybe one shattered into multiple pieces, since that's actually happened in some of the games. Basically, whatever amount of MacGuffins Sonic has to collect to make it easy for the writers to make the characters bounce from multiple locations. So the number one rule that you should never break when making a video game movie is inserting said video game character into the real world. This practically ruins the whole point of making an adaptation in the first place, because a video game character's world is one of the main reasons people are attached to the games. Like, can you imagine if Star Wars was a game first, and then when it came to a movie, they just plopped Luke and Darth Vader into New York? By stripping out the world, you are effectively removing the aesthetic and creativity of the setting used in the source material. Now, I understand that the world of Sonic with all the anthropomorphic animals might be deemed too much to handle for the common audience, and that the director said he wanted to focus more on the core relationship between Sonic and Eggman. But there's really one easy fix to this. Rather than making up a real-life town and calling it Green Hill, why not use one of the already human-populated locations from the games? In this case, I'm referring to Station Square from Sonic Adventure 1. There, the writers can include whatever human characters they want, and fans won't be disappointed because those humans will still have roots in the lore of the games. You might think that Station Square is still kind of a boring location though, since it's still a normal city and doesn't have the insane designs of Sonic's more abstract levels. But I disagree, because in the game, Station Square is an open world connected to multiple different interesting locations. You got the beach, a jungle area, a casino, a futuristic amusement park, a snow area, a volcano. There's literally unlimited potential here for fun and visually interesting action scenes. Any of these locations definitely beat some small-ass town or a boring empty road. If the writers really don't want to deal with the other Sonic characters, then what they could do is just make it so that certain characters still got to the human world through a portal and are unable to go back. This portal could have been created by one of the Chaos Emeralds, which is why the characters would be motivated to follow it through to another world. That way, the writers can limit the main cast to as many non-human characters as they want, and it could explain why there are maybe rings or other game-related items littered throughout a human-populated setting. In terms of characters, I think what they should have done was have Sonic, Tails, and Eggman come through a portal to Station Square. This way, the cast is kept very light for the first movie. The reason for Tails is that he'll give Sonic someone to bounce off of during the journey, rather than having to introduce some bland human character that no one cares about. You could have some fun fish out of water comedic stuff with Sonic and Tails not understanding simple stuff about the human world, and rather than Eggman talking to some random assistant dude, he could be talking to some robots like in the games to drill in how weirdly intertwined with technology he is, like in the original movie.
Human beings are unreliable and stupid, and I care very little about them. But my machines are diligent, relentless. They're everything to me!
Speaking of which, if we make it so that Eggman came from a different world like Sonic, it would allow the movie to be much more creative with the robot henchmen he attacks Sonic with. Rather than these faceless drones, we could have more interesting animal-inspired designs just like in the games. This one really killed me when I watched the movie. The Sonic games are filled with iconic themes, and the creators didn't think to use any of them in the actual film. I know they used some music at the beginning and ends of the film, but it's barely noticeable unless you try to listen for it. Lots of people don't understand how important music can be to the identity of a character. Even Detective Pikachu found a way to incorporate the cheesy yet iconic theme from the old Pokemon cartoons.
I know it's my destiny, Pokemon.
So, in my hypothetical movie, I would end it by having the Sonic world and the human world merge into one. This could happen by saying that the Chaos Emerald did it, since the games have done weird, unexplained stuff with the emeralds before, for the sake of fun ideas. This way, for any sequels, the writers would be able to use any characters or locations from the games that they want to service whatever story they want to tell. The sequels could explore more interesting plots from the source material, and Sonic could run into any amount of characters from this universe. It could be like the Marvel movies, where sometimes interesting characters or cameos from the comics are included to surprise the fans. That type of feeling is way better than just watching something with a set expectation just because the creators wanted to play it safe. Fortunately, a sequel has already been announced due to the box office success of the first film, so I really hope they add more personality this time around with the inclusion of Tails and a more accurate Dr. Eggman.